McGregor.
I just told them that on yesterday. I was reading a book and I was like, I just wish I knew what you guys know now, what you know early, because I just felt like maybe I just grew up a little too green. And well, so
I believe too, remember, we didn't have access to, the internet. It wasn't, right now it's right at your fingertip. You can just Google it or whatnot. But for what sets TJ aside from the majority of his age is the fact that he is still his age, but he is educated, and his approach to life is not all about himself. It's about, hey, look, most people at that age are, so it's like the me stage. I want this, I want that, it's all like, hey, look, I want to make this, I want to help others. And that's what we learn as we get older, that it's not about just us. It's about helping others, and we're all helping each other. So I think that that's just a wonderful value that you've learned. And I'm proud of you for that, because to be able to continue to have the success that you're having, and have that, you're humble and you're smart and you're talented, and you're also, you appreciate others and you want to give to others. Most don't learn that at your age at all. And I think that is very inspiring. And I believe the sky's the limits for you, TJ. And so, I think that's fantastic. I'd like to add, is there anything you would like to add about COVID, as far as, is there anything that COVID has maybe put into your life, maybe some restrictions that you would like to stay in the future, or that, let's just say, COVID's made us do certain things or have certain things done in a certain way? Is there anything from COVID that you'd be like, you know what, I actually don't mind this? I'll give you an example for myself. I don't really like going to the gym. Here we're allowed to go to the gym. I like the fact that now if I wear a mask to the gym, if I were to go to the gym, I won't be looked at for wearing one. But now I can wear a cap and a mask, and I feel invisible. So that for me is something that I find that I will probably do once I feel comfortable to leave the house, because that won't be, it's a norm now. So I was just curious if there's anything from COVID that you'd say, hey, it's not that bad, I actually kind of like this, or if maybe you're like, you know what, no, I want it to all go away.
Well, in some way I want it to all go away, but it's kind of made me realize and like the fact that I get to spend time with my family, because usually we're always working. Like, dad's out doing S&P or doing the luxury mobile barbershop, mom's at work from 8 to 5 or 8 to 8, you never know. And Notlim and I are usually doing homework, and so we stay in our rooms and always do our homework and just keep going over and over and over. And so, like, sometimes we all don't get a break just to be with each other. Like, we work from Monday to Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, usually we have the weekends to ourselves, but usually we don't spend time with one another. But over COVID, we get to spend time with each other a lot more. Like, pretty much every single day is family day, because we get to see each other and hang out with one another.
Is there something that out of the things that you've been able to do over the last 7 months, something that you enjoy like a lot with your family that you haven't told them? Like, what is something that you're like, I love this. I'm putting you on the spot. I want to know, like, what do you love that now has been implemented? Okay, I see everyone's.
I would say being able to spend time with them mostly. Even though I tell them a lot, y'all get on my nerves. I don't want to be with y'all. I say that a lot to them. I'm truthful just like him sometimes. I'm like, y'all get on my nerves. I don't want to hang out with you. Like, Dad will ask me, hey, you want to go watch the Laker game? No. I'll just be real honest with him. No.
So now Monopoly night.
But yes, I was wondering, like, is there a certain, like, for instance, you have a pizza night? Is there a certain show that you guys binge together that has become like, okay, this night is there something that you look forward to that's like, oh my God, I like this, I'm excited. I mean, not that excited, like, oh, I'm excited, but like, that's something that you really enjoy with your family. Like, hey, I really enjoy that Dad does this with me now. Or, hey, I really enjoy that Notlim and I have gotten closer in this way, and I really enjoy this with Notlim. Or, hey, there's something that I do with Mom, that I didn't do before, or with all of them. I just want to know.
I would have to say with my sister, because we have a great relationship. We're best friends, but over this quarantine, we have become more and more best friends. Like, we've become way closer than we thought we could. We thought we were already close, but we've become way closer. And usually we go to the dog park together and just talk about whatever, talk about life, or we go to CVS or across the street, maybe talk about them sometimes, how they're getting on our nerves, and we just give each other advice. And so I'm glad that our relationship is like that.
It's
because I know a lot of my guy friends be like, man, I hate my sister. She's so annoying. She never listens to me. And I'm like, oh wow, you literally hate her? I love my sister.
I know, it's like you just can't even imagine. I can't fathom what it would be like if I hated my sister. She's like my best friend, and I see that you're actually great photography.
Thank you.
I'm like seeing this. I'm like, hey, we've got someone is this something that you've just started since COVID?
No. Back in 9th grade, I think, I took a photography class, but then I also picked it up from my dad because he is the main photographer who takes my pictures and sometimes Notlim's pictures.
Sometimes, all the time.
No,
Okay.
TJ's my
I do all the time.
TJ's my photographer too, so it's 50-50. That's why.
No, it's not 50-50. It's 75-25.
That's
I have
not
to keep it
true.
I
fair.
do everything.
Okay.
All that equipment we have to do our self-tapes.
Mm.
All the photography.
I've noticed some great pictures of Notlim, so I don't know if Notlim's putting that phone somewhere and like putting it on 10 and running away and like, really nice pose. There's got to be someone behind that camera. That's you, TJ?
Yeah, that's me and him sometimes.
Most of the time it's him if it's like a really, really good picture. Unless it's my prom pictures, that was him.
Yeah.
Aww.
But
I think you're a Laker, and I really I love it's
She's what?
the Laker shirt. It's like
Oh yeah. She's a Laker fan. Oh.
Yeah. Speaking of that.
Well, I just noticed some shots, and I'm like, this is like. I actually was curious if you had a photographer. I'm like, oh, these are really nice. I think there were some dresses too, a green dress.
That was
prom. So wait a second, you were able to go to.
I'll tell you about prom.
Okay, so I'm gonna get there. Okay, so TJ, I want to know what is it from? Is there, as far as with your mom and dad, something that you are really like before? Do you find that you're a lot closer now? Is there things that you and don't feel shy, because this is stuff I believe that we should tell those we love. We always tell other people, but the person we really should tell is the one that we just don't want to tell. Like, I say to my mom all the time all these really great compliments to about Haraj, but I don't say it to him. So it's really nice to hear it from, your dad or your mom would, I'm sure, appreciate it. And trust me, this is by no means anything they've asked. I just would like to know, I know for myself, being here, I would have never gotten to spend as much time with my mom that like I have. And I've actually I'm starting to have this relationship that I always dreamt that I wish I could have had, and it's actually coming to life, and I really, really am appreciating every moment with her. So I would like to know if during COVID, since you have this extra time, is there things that you and your dad have done and stuff that you've done with your mom that you're like, wow, this is a side of my mom that I really love, and this is a side of my dad that I really love, or I love this time with my dad. Like, I really, really enjoy this, and it means a lot that you necessarily wouldn't, let's just say, mention it, because to you it's just like, yeah, I'm sure he just gets it kind of thing. Like, I don't need to tell him like this is fun, because he knows.
Tell. Go ahead.
Well, before COVID and everything like that, I used to never like spending time with these two, because all they would do is just talk like they do all the time. And so, like, sometimes I would show them a picture on my phone. I'd be like, oh, look at this. And then it becomes a whole life lesson sometimes. Or they'd be like, let me search through your phone. And it's like, I just want you to look at a photo.
Yeah, I didn't ask you to go through my phone. I just said, could you just take a look at those, right?
Yeah. But usually I like to keep everything to myself. I'm usually that type of person who keeps everything to myself, and I don't tell people about how I feel, because usually I don't like to feel like a burden. Like, oh, I feel like this and this and this, and you're supposed to help me. I always like to get through it by myself, because I don't want to make that a habit in the future to where I always have to rely on somebody to make me feel happy, or for someone to cheer me up. I want to be able to do it myself, because I don't know what could happen in the future. I could be alone and I feel sad, and it's like, I need to cheer myself up. I can't rely on people to do that.
Well, do you feel that first of all, know that it's okay to need, like, to be able to talk about it, validate the feeling of being like, hey, this is how I feel. I do feel like I'm a burden, but also know that those that love you would love for you to open up. Like, you're not alone in this. A lot of us feel like that. Do you find yourself opening up more to them, that if, like, whereas before you probably wouldn't have? Or do you feel that you haven't been, because everyone is going through something?
Yeah, tremendously. I think I have tremendously talked more to both of them. Like, I know I'm about to expose myself, but there was one time in the house where I was looking and I was feeling really sad about something. And so my dad noticed. He asked me, hey, TJ, what's wrong? And I was like, oh, nothing's wrong. And he's like, TJ, I know there's something wrong. Tell me what's wrong. And I'm like, Dad, it's nothing. And so I went to the dog park, and I took the dog out to use the restroom. And then we came back, and then my dad said, hey, TJ, come here. And I'm like, oh, okay. He probably needs something. And we went into the bathroom, and he said, TJ, I know that look on your face, and it means something has really hit you hard. What's happening? And so in that moment, I was like, should I tell my dad? Should I not? Because, like, I always keep things to myself. And I was like, you know what? Whatever, I'm just going to say it. And so I was telling him how I have a girlfriend, and how we got kind of into a little spat. And so he gave me advice on what I should do and what I should say and how I should handle it, because I was going in this relationship solo, doing everything by myself, because I thought I can handle it, because I see him. He seems like he can handle everything by himself. He seems like, oh, I know what I can do. I can do this, this, and this. I can do anything by myself. Even if it comes to something new, it seems like he just gets it down. So I thought, I'm his son. I should have that mentality too. Yeah. But he was just telling me that I can't do everything by myself. You have to talk to people. You have to talk to me more, especially when it comes to you in this relationship. And so we had like one of those father and son moments that you see in the movies. And it was a really great thing, because I was like, you know what, maybe I can open up to him more. And I even told my mom, and I know my mom is always sometimes picky. She'd be like, oh, what does she look like? Oh, what does she do? And it's like, she goes to school, Mom. What else can she do? But yeah, I've opened up to them a little more, and I'm actually glad that I did, because I didn't know how our relationship would be in the future. I don't know if it was going to be like, oh, I keep everything to myself. I do whatever by myself. And it's just like.
Do you feel like, I'm going, sorry.
I see the relationship that my sister and my dad and my mom have with each other, and they're always talking, and they always are free to talk to one another. And I'm always like, dang, that's really nice. But I'm always used to keeping everything by myself. And I was like, you know what? I need to open up more. I need to discover who I want to be and just try new things. And so when I opened up to both of them, it was actually a great thing because it helped me find out who I truly want to be.
And do you find that it really helped you? Like, you know, you were saying, I don't want to be a burden. Do you feel like it really relieved a lot of stress from you when it was like, whew, wow,
Yeah.
that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be? Do you feel that? Yeah.
Because I really thought that after I told my dad, I thought he was going to be like, hey, Shay, come in here. And they both would have talked to me all night. It would have gone up to like 3 a.m. talking. I would have been half asleep trying to stay up. Yeah. I thought the worst. And so that's one of the many things that affect people in life. They think the worst. They let fear control them. And so I've learned to never let fear control me because I found my true self. And I know that if I want to tell somebody something, I can't let fear control me. If somebody's telling me to do something that I don't really want to do, I can't just sit there and be like, okay, I can't let fear or me overthinking be like, oh, don't say it because he might think this, or don't say it because they might tell you this. I can't let fear affect me. And so
you're going to tell your truth. Like, hey, this is how I feel about that. I don't want to do that. You're going to set your boundaries. You're going to speak up for yourself and not hold it back anymore because,
it can affect you from holding
it
back.
Like you're saying. Yeah, absolutely. I'm proud of you for sharing that with me.
Thank you.